So Palworld's community manager has just posted out a massive statement on the game, and I thought it was interesting to bring this video to you guys because I do agree with this a lot, and I feel like it's a very good post to put out at the moment. Obviously, the game is approaching its 1 month since release in 5 days' time, and if you think about it, when a game's only been out for 3.5 weeks and it's had that amount of success is absolutely crazy coming from a company that's a small indie studio, and it also gives us an idea of like upcoming content, the position they're in, all of that stuff, and I thought it's very important to talk about. So if you guys do enjoy today's video, as always, make sure to smash that like button, and if you can consider subscribing to the channel, we're on the road to 250,000. That would be amazing. Thank you guys so much for the support if you want your daily Palworld news. So we're just going to kick straight off with things because there's a lot I want to talk about with this, and pretty much it all sort of kicked off with recently I've seen a lot of news outlets that have been talking about Palworld and how the game went from 2 million players to, you know, concurrently every day, which you have to think a Steam game hasn't done that since like what, maybe Elden Ring, was it, which was like a few years ago. I mean, it's something that games never do. It's very, very rare that they do them. And then obviously at this moment in time, it's sort of ranging around 500,000 players concurrently every day. And some people forget that these games, like these survival games, they never get anywhere near this. I mean, even the top game like Ark only really ever peaked like 250,000 players. I'm talking on PC Steam, by the way. So it's one of those things that this Palworld has done something that many survival games have always dreamed of, and there's still so much to come. And there's a very good point as well we're going to be reading from another big survival YouTuber. So kicking things off, it is Bucky saying, with Palworld quickly approaching the 1 month mark, it's interesting to look back at my own thoughts for launch. In May of 2023, I was convinced that Palworld could break the 50,000 player mark. Anything above seemed unattainable, although I never certainly expected it to reach into the millions. So you have to remember they've taken big like inspiration from Ark, Valheim, all those other games like that, and they've watched those games hitting the hundreds of thousands of players. They've always really dreamed to get close, but nowhere even near that. And the fact that they ended up reaching in the millions is crazy. So they say it's taken years to get to this point, and Palworld only really begins from here. Everyone is working hard to fix the issues and prepare new content and pals. Some of you may have had your fun over the last 3 weeks and found yourself putting the game down. That is fine. And obviously gaming's gone crazy, like in this new generation, like moving forward, in the sense of like, it's so competitive now that people get things done so fast, speed running things. People are getting to like level 50 of Palworld and then like sort of really wanting the next stage, the next content. And I agree that, to be honest, I think it's still so action-packed with so much to do, but it's early access, and they didn't expect players, like literally a huge amount of the gaming industry, to be smashing out this game to the point that they get to the through the survival game as fast as they have into this early stage. So he also went on to say, this emerging Palworld has lost X of its player-based discourse. Is lazy, and this is what I've said. I've seen a lot of the top news outlets putting this out there, like, can you believe Palworld have lost that amount of players? But it's probably also a good time to step in and reassure those of you capable of reading past the headline that it's fine to take breaks from games. You don't need to feel bad about that. Palworld, like many games before it, isn't in a position to pump out massive amounts of new content on a weekly basis. New content will come and it's going to be awesome, but these things take a little bit more of time. There are so many amazing games out there to play, and you don't need to feel guilty about hopping from game to game. If you are still playing Palworld, we love you, and if you're no longer playing Palworld, we still love you, and we hope you come back for round 2 when you're ready. Play lots of games, try different genres, and frequently flick through indie libraries to find hidden gems. So I think this was like the perfect post to put out. I really do. I've really been a fan of Bucky since I've sort of been creating content for Palworld. Like, I mean, literally not even a month ago I started doing it, because it's just such a perfect post to put out from a community manager. And the reason I'm just giving it so much credit is the fact that this is so true. Like, when people get to the stage they've completed it, they're gonna move on to something else. If they just generally enjoy, once, even when they've completed it, capturing the pals, building their base out, there's always going to come a point in a game when you're wanting to do something. I play all different types of games, literally on a daily basis, and I have spent many hours into survival games like Ark and Palworld, but like, just over time, you just need to freshen things up, and that's what happens all the time. And people are forgetting the fact that Palworld is a game about a progression system at this moment in time. When you've got a progression system or like an active PvP online official server that keeps players coming on, when you don't have that, I know they do have their official servers, but it's PvE, you will lose players. And they're still getting 500,000 concurrent players, and that may drop. You never know, that may drop more, but because they have that big presence of it being so similar to Pokemon players have dreamed of having something like this, so it's never going to drop that much, to be honest. And someone may put in my comment section, oh well, Dom, it's dropped from 2 million down to 500,000. Just wait till they get their first new content update out there. It will spike in players, and it will go right back up to the top. It's just that so many players have completed it and moved on to playing something else, and they'll come back because they love the game, the positive reviews. And yeah, at the moment there's some issues with the game, like in the set on, especially on Xbox. I personally on PC don't have too many issues. I've got a few, but nothing that really puts me off that much. On Xbox, that always happens. Console games experience it with survival games. It's always console that struggles a lot more, and it's harder to get patches out because you have to go through Microsoft and Sony. It takes longer to get those updates and stuff. But as I say, they're a smaller company. They've got Microsoft now supporting the Xbox launch, which is fantastic. But like what they said earlier on, it's taken years to get to this launch point, and it really only begins from here. And everyone is working hard to fix all the issues and prepare new content. But like they said, they're not in a position to pump out massive new updates every single week. And you think over the last 3 weeks already, they already have been doing that. So they're going crazy on getting these fixes out, and they're preparing these new content. But they're probably still a very small studio. I think I read that they at one point, I think Palworld started with 2 people working on it at the beginning, and they're probably at around about 50 to 100, something around there. And you think about that being one of the biggest games running of 2024 so far, that is absolutely crazy. Now then, a response from Syntac, who I've never actually spoken to in the Ark community, but always watch his videos because we've sort of been on the same kind of journey for our Ark over the last couple of years. Says no progression based game could ever hold those concurrent numbers for so long. Even with a player drop off, it's still very much in the top 10 on Steam. The real test will be when there is new content. How many players will return? My guess is a lot. And Bucky just put a smile face, because it's so true. Like, you're not going to get like people without a progression system sitting playing the game. Palworld have that potential now to, when they release the PvP Power Arena battles and things, they can put in a progression system, and that can get something so addictive onto it to the point that they're going to be able to keep to that. They've got so much potential, and if the company take the right steps, this game could end up having a crazy future. The thing I find so funny is when a new game launches, everyone is so quick to jump on the hype train of how amazing it is, and after a couple of weeks, when things sort of are a bit slower, it's instantly like, oh no, it's the end. And it's like, it's been 3.5 weeks of a new early access launch, and I think you have to think as well, they've made so much money, like hundreds of million, well, when I say hundreds of million, in the 100 million, and they're going to be able to invest that into more employees, more everything, and all of this stuff is going to take time. But I think they've got a fantastic future ahead of them, and I'm so excited to see what's next, and so excited for my YouTube journey with it, to be honest. Like, obviously I've been doing Ark, and I will always carry on doing Ark, but when there's a game similar to it and it's smashing it and I'm loving it, then I'm going to be covering it. So Also, there was just something else that I wanted to show you. Someone said 100% will be coming back into Palworld after I finish up Mass Effect Replay. I'll need something to cheer me up. You've made a great, fun game. Looking forward to the additional content. And obviously, Bucky said, I love Mass Effect, especially the first one, fond memories. So, yeah, some people have just played it loads and now they're just playing something else for a bit. And when they see what else is new, that's how the world seems to work. When something's been out for a little while and they've used it a lot, they then move on to something else. And then they wait for whatever is the new update. You guys know where I'm coming from. But anyway, I just thought it was a really interesting post that I thought I wanted to read to you guys and break it down a little bit, just because I feel like we're really sitting on a game here that has so much potential. It's got the Pokemon side of things, that type of game people have always wanted. They've got so much they can do with it. As I said, that I think that PAL PvP arena thing with a progression system is one of the best things that you can do with a game. When they actually get a PvP thing sorted, oh, that could be massive. That was so big for Ark. I'm telling you, they have something. We're sitting on something here that the developers probably know, but they just know there's hurdles to get by before they can get there, because it costs money, it takes time, and yeah, so I'm looking forward to the future. Can't wait to keep smashing out content, and leave a like, subscribe, and I'm looking forward to reading the comments on the video. See you guys soon.